The moon vanished. Dr. Mara Klein's portable scanner beeped once, twice. She crouched in the Nevada desert dust, fingers flying over the controls, 10 seconds from full illumination to absolute blackout. No fade, no shimmer, just gone. Grids up, she muttered into her comm. Leakage already spiking at 2.3 gigahertz. Admiral Jonah Ray's voice crackled back from orbit. Data stream to Luna Command. Confirm it's their shroud. Mara adjusted the dish array. 8 salvaged radio telescopes from a ghost observatory pointed skyward. Wind tugged her jacket, but she ignored it. The aliens' lunar occupation had escalated. Kef Vero's coalition fleet orbited the dark side, their ultimatum ticking. Surrender Earth in 72 hours or watch your sky fall. She locked onto the first anomaly. Faint M-pulses leaked through the shroud, imperfect cloaking. Humans had mapped those edges before breakfast. On the moon's regolith-crusted command deck, Kef Vero watched the deployment feed. His mandibles clicked satisfaction. Shroud grid active. Earthside observation nullified. The grid hummed to life. A lattice of quantum dampeners spanning craters, bending light and radar around the entire satellite. Humanity's ancient symbol, now a veiled fortress. No telescopes would pierce it. Panic would follow. Surrender inevitable. Lur-7, the embedded field scientist, tilted her sensor frill. Curious, leakage detected in Sector 7 Beta, minimal but present. Vero's compound eyes narrowed. Irrelevant. Models predict psychological collapse within hours. Lur-7 pulsed a query light. Humans fix leaks. How fast? Vero dismissed it. Primitives with sticks, they yield. Mara's screen filled with ghost signals. The shroud wasn't seamless. Nodes pulsed at precise intervals, control points betraying their positions. She triangulated 3 already. Rays, I've got vectors, she said. Grids anchored on Tycho and Aristarchus. Power draw suggests phased array emitters. Copy that, Klein? Rays' tone stayed steel calm. Coalition's broadcasting the ult from Lunar Relay. Vero's playing King of the Sky. Mara stood, dusting her knees. Her team, 5 engineers in a rented RV, huddled around laptops. Repurpose the 5G tower 2 clicks east. We ping those nodes. A tech blinked. Civilian net, FCC would. Now, Mara cut in. She treated crises like faulty circuits. Isolate, probe, reroute. Rays patched in. Authorization granted. I've looped in DHS. Hijack what you need. Power grids, SATs, cell towers. Vero wants symbols. We take his toys apart. Mara nodded to her team. They piled into trucks. Dawn broke red over the flats as they reached the tower. Steel lattice loomed, humming with idle traffic. Kill the broadcast relays, Mara ordered. Feed our signal. Wires snaked from the RV. Mara spliced a jury-rigged maser, microwave laser from particle board and surplus klystrons. It pinged the shroud's edge, a tight beam at 2.3 gigahertz matching the leak. First bounce returned data. Node cluster at 23 degrees south, 12 degrees west. Active. Got harmonics, she said. They're modulating on gravitic subcarriers, exotic but sloppy phasing. Her scanner plotted the grid. 50 nodes minimum linked in a mesh. Disrupt 1, cascade potential. Rays' face appeared on the split screen. Coalition shuttle inbound your position. Vero's liaison demanding parley. Mara didn't look up. Stall him, we map this before they patch. On the moon, Vero's console chimed. Anomaly, Sector 7 Beta leakage amplifying. Lur-7 leaned in. Incoming ping, structured, not noise. Vero's crest flared. Earthside probe. Trace it. Origin, terrestrial tower, civilian frequency repurposed. Lur-7 frill quivered. Response time, 14 minutes from shroud activation. Impossible calibration speed. Vero activated the garrison channel. Scramble interceptors, source that signal. Earth's night side plunged into unfamiliar dark. Cities flickered with emergency lights. Mara watched her plot resolve. Control nexus at Shackleton Crater, the shroud's brain. Full map, she announced. Team cheered quietly. Rays patched through orbital assets. Repurposed Starlink birds slave to her net. Shuttle ETA 5 mics, Rays warned. Coalition markings, Vero's testing us. Mara keyed the maser to full pulse. It hammered the nearest node. Feedback spiked, shroud flickered over Tycho, visible for 0.3 seconds from Earth scopes. Social feeds lit up. Moon Ghost trended. Vero's deck rattled. Grid destabilizing, node 12 offline. Lur-7 cross-referenced. Human signal inverted our phase lock, improvised waveform, they. Hacked the leakage. How? Varro slammed a manipulator. His models shattered. Humans shouldn't reverse engineer quantum cloaks in hours. Practicality, Lur-7 murmured. They build from scrap. We design from theory. Interceptor drones screamed toward Nevada. Myra saw contrails on the horizon, atmospheric entry burn. Raise green light countermeasures. Affirm, railgun batteries hot at Tanapa. Your map feeds them. Myra uploaded the node grid. Rails cracked the sky, hypersonic slugs arcing suborbital. First hit vaporized a lunar emitter. Shroud tore wide, moon silhouette bled through. Varro's alarms wailed. Incoming kinetics, precision strikes. Impacts bloomed across the grid. Nodes chain failed. Earthside scopes captured the garrison's panicked lights. Lur-7 stared at the breach. They measured edges we ignored, rewrote the field. Varro signaled retreat. Evacuate key assets. Ultimatum holds, but recalibrate. Mara lowered the maser. Shuttle touched down a click out, dust plume rising. Kef Varro's proxy emerged, a spindly drone with translation orb. Dr. Klein, it intoned. Liaison Varro demands cessation. Your improvisation endangers peace. Mara wiped sweat from her brow, calm as rewiring a fuse. Tell Varro we fixed his leak. Next one's on him. The drone paused. Lur-7 voice leaked through unfiltered curiosity. How specs? Mara smiled faintly. Start with what's broken, measure twice, ping once. Rays cut in. Shuttle, you're cleared for visuals only, no scans. As the drone hovered, Myra eyed her plot. Full grid mapped, leverage gained. The moon hung partial now, a scarred shield. Humanity's engineers had peeled it back, but nodes regenerated. Varro adapted fast. Mara's scanner pinged a new frequency. She recalibrated. Clock ticked. 48 hours left. Mara's fingers flew across the console. Dish array, phase lock now. Screens flickered as radio telescopes worldwide synced. Chile's Atacama, Australia's ASKAP, Russia's Rattan. Overnight jury rig, coherent interferometer. Shroud's region grid snapped into focus, nodes pulsing like veins. She leaned back, eyes burning. 36 hours to ultimatum. First light pierced the black. Ray's voice cut in. Status, Klein. Full map. Nodes at 87% rebuild. Edges frayed where we hit. Mara traced a hologram projection. Kinetic strikes had carved paths. Shroud knit them tight. Good. Varro's drone logged it all. Expect pushback. Alarms wailed. Frequencies drowned in noise. Every radio band, HF to microwave, saturated. Lunar feed vanished. Shroud's new layer, total jam. Mara didn't flinch. They're blinding us. Standard play. She pulled up backups. Shift to optical, laser comb timing. Team leads patched in. Laser what? Frequency comb, stabilize phases with femtosecond pulses. Treat it like a clock sync, not a signal. Myra uploaded specs. Mirror alignments first, then pulse trains from the dish's adaptive optics. Engineers scrambled. Arikama's crew hauled cryocoolers. Gold coatings flashed under work lights. Myra monitored pings. Jam 8 radio waves. Lasers danced through coherent light packets timed to a Toscans. By noon, first lock. Shroud's silhouette etched in infrared strobes. Nodes glowed, rebuilding arcs visible. Mara smiled. We see you, Varro. On the moon, Kef Varro paced the command blister. Jam confirmed, Earthside blindness total. His console showed flatlines from human scopes. Global panic imminent, surrender in 24. Lur-7 hovered at a sensor bank, optics whirring. Dr. Klein's array, it's phasing, not radio. Varro spun. Impossible. Shroud blocks all M below gamma. Optical combs, they sync lasers across baselines. Measures phase shifts we didn't model. Lur-7 replayed intercepts. Human dishes pulsed ruby red, invisible to garrison shields. Their clocks now, timing our region. Varro's mandibles clicked. Adapt Shroud, scatter optical too. But models lagged. Humans rewrote rules mid-fight. Myra's plot updated real-time. Node 47, 92%. She flagged weak fringes, Shroud's edge where density thinned. Rays need eyes inside. Prepping launch, weathersat, polar orbit. Your micros on board. Mara slotted detectors into the payload bay. Rice grain sensors, graphene meshes tuned to Shroud flux. They'll ride the fringe, map from within, deploy at apogee. Ray's face filled her screen, stern lines etched deeper. Window in 20. Varro's proxies buzzing airspace. We shield the pad. Copy. Mara sealed the canister. Micros hummed quantum dots for field gradients, no emissions. Stealth probes. Launch siren blared. Falcon roared skyward, plume scorching Baja pad. Mara tracked ascent. Shroud loomed, a pearl gray veil over Luna. Sat punched through ionosphere, coasted to 800 clicks. Apogee, Rays barked. Release! Springs popped. Micros ejected thousands, chaff-like. They drifted into Shroud's fringe, meters from dense core. Data trickled, flux maps, node lattices. Vero's proxy drone returned, orbiting Mara's bunker, orb glowed. Dr. Klein, cease probes, ultimatum expires soon. Mara patched the laser feed live. Hologram bloomed, Shroud internals, nodes branching like circuits. Tell Vero we fixed his blind spot. Again. Drone stilled. Lur-7 voice leaked eager. Micro-detectors in the fringe, how do you fab that fast? 3D print graphene dope with defects, test in sims. Mara shrugged. Broken machine, swap parts. Vero cut in, tone clipped. This improvisation risks escalation. Withdraw. Peace needs clear sight. Mara zoomed a node cluster. Yours leak, ours don't. Drone feed glitched, Shroud scattering their own optics, but Mara's laser comb held, clocks ticked true, rays patched through. Sats holding. Micros confirm, Shroud's meta-stable. Push kinetics here, he stabbed a fringe vector. And it cascades, Mara nodded. Railgun crews sync to our timing, phase slugs to node pulses. Guns charged worldwide, hypersonics loaded, tungsten darts finned for fringe shear. On Luna, alarms shrieked, Lur-7 bolted to scopes. Earth arrays, pulsing their timing impacts through jam. Vero slammed controls. Evac nodes, full Shroud density. Too late, rails cracked atmosphere, slugs arced precise, timed to Shroud's oscillation. First struck fringe, micros lit the breach. Flux tore, nodes overloaded, chain reacting, Shroud ripped wide, lunar bases exposed, lights frantic. Mara watched the hologram fracture. Cascade confirmed. Drone hovered low. Dr. Klein, how? Models said blindness. You jammed signals, we switched clocks. Mara met the orb's glow. Measure what's there, not what you block. Lur-7 chimed in. Fascinating, human baseline interferometry, portable, overnight. Vero silenced it. Retreat order stands, but recalibrate terms. Drone lifted. Mara turned to her plot, Shroud thinned to haze. Moon's scars gleamed. Micros fed final dumps, full lattice cracked. Rays grinned faint. 24 hours left, Vero blinks. Mara wiped screens clean, new pings already. Shroud twitched, adapting. She keyed overrides, clock ticked. Leverage shifted. Again. Mara punched the EMP sequence live. Orbital emitters hummed to peak. A shaped pulse rocketed toward the moon's fringe node, narrowband, tuned to overload without frying internals. Her screens flared. The node stuttered. Shields folded inward. Safe mode locked it down, diagnostics pinging blind. Node 1's dark, rays crackled over comms. Cascade risk minimal, your window's 3 minutes. Mara's eyes locked on the spectral feed. Harmonics danced, alien frequencies twisting under human stress. She keyed capture arrays. Micros swarm the fringe, baseline now. Drones zipped from lunar orbit, ghosts in the thinning shroud. Data streamed, node emissions spiking, handshakes probing for garrison links. On the lunar surface, Lur-7 sealed its pod and stepped into vacuum. Boots crunched regolith. The garrison dome loomed behind, but the anomaly pulled harder. Scanner's word. Field harmonics, non-standard, human induction coils. It crouched by the node casing, probe extended. Readings spiked, earthside bursts laced with improvised waveforms. This defies propagation models. How do they thread the shroud? Mara's console pinged confirmation. Lur-7 suit cams fed indirect, hacked via micro relays. The alien's probe glowed against the node's hull. Perfect. She isolated the handshake burst. Alien protocols unspooled. Query pulses, auth cadences, quantum-encrypted keys flickering in safe mode loop. Got it, Mara muttered. Algorithms chewed the data. Patterns emerged, repetitive nonce challenges, vulnerable to replay if timed right. Human clocks synced flawless, no drift. Rays leaned into the hollow. Vero's drone inbound, he's sniffing the EMP residue. Let him. Mara patched the extraction. Auth cadence locked, a 256-bit rhythm now hers. Prep spoofers, we log in as Garrison Prime. Alarms blared topside. Kef Vero stormed the command blister. Screens showed Node 1 inert, shroud fringes wobbling. Lur-7 report, human interference confirmed. The scientist's voice chimed steady. Affirmative, Admiral. They induced safe mode with directed electromagnetics. Harmonics match portable generators, Earth manufactories iterated overnight, propagation through shroud oscillation. Vero clenched mandibles. Models shattered again. Humans didn't assault, they tickled. Tighten perimeter, double node density, accelerate ultimatum, 12 hours. No negotiations. Drones swarmed outward, enforcers locking bays. Lunar guns powered hot. Myra watched the alien response bloom on her plot. Perimeter hardened, new nodes pulsing, shroud thickening central. But Fringe 1 stayed dark, its emissions now rooted through her arrays. Rays, rail teams on standby, we spoof the handshake. Node thinks garrison's greenlighting overrides. Risky, one mismatch it bricks. Or invites us in. Mara fed the cadence to orbital spoofers. Pulse matched, nonce query echoed back authentic. Node chirped acceptance. Backdoors yawned, shroud lattice maps, power grids, weapon queues, data flooded. Lunar bases lit like circuits, troop dispositions, fusion taps, enforcer patrols. Humans saw it all. Lur 7 retracted its probe. The node hummed alive but wrong. Handshake anomaly. Cadence phase shifted 0.003. It circled, scanners frantic. Human micros buzzed overhead, invisible thieves. They're inside the protocol stack. Vero's override cut through. Recall to garrison, full diagnostic lockdown. Too late, Mara sliced deeper. Node 2 pinged spoofed query, accepted. Chain unlocked. Shroud control nets spilled secrets, adaptive algorithms, weakness to kinetic fringe shear. Full lattice dump incoming, Mara said. Rays nodded sharp. Railguns worldwide synced pulses. Slugs chambered, phased to node cadences. On the moon, Lur 7 dodged a microswarm. Admiral, they're enumerating our stack. How safe mode emissions aren't public. Vero silenced the channel. Evac protocols, shroud to max. But doubt gnawed. Humans rewrote rules mid-fight. Myra's fingers flew. She injected a ghost command, shroud density drop, fringe only. Nodes complied, thinking garrison order. Breach yawned wide. Fire window, she called, rails thundered. Tungsten darts arced true, slamming fringes, flux tore. Nodes chain failed, shroud shredding central. Lunar lights panicked. Enforcers scrambled. Lur 7 bolted for dome, recording every harmonic. Ingenuity baseline, exponential. Vero's blister shook, impacts cratered perimeter. Counterfire all bays, Mara pulled dumps clean. Auth full spectrum overrides, decrypts, moon's guts exposed. Rays, we've got admin ultimatums hours now. He gripped the console. 12 hours, make it 6. Drones hummed victory, shroud haze parted, leverage flipped hard, but new pings spiked, alien backups stirring. Mara traced them, deep core nodes hardened, clock raced, she keyed fresh sims, cadence evolved. Again, Lur 7 sealed the airlock, data core burned hot. Humans don't breach, they authenticate. It cued burst to fleet command. Recommend withdrawal, they're engineering. Predicts hours. Vero overrode. Hold terms shift on surrender. Mara smiled faint at the intercepted chatter. Micros fed Lur 7 own recordings, harmonics logged, models cracking. Humans stayed humble, aliens chased ghosts. She triggered next pulse. Fringe node 2 safe-moded clean. Cycle renewed, rays patched fleets. Innovations live, moon's clock hours. Perimeter tightened futile, shroud twitched adaptive. Mara captured fresh emissions. Auth cadence shifted, predictable. Human improv outpaced, ultimatum ticked. 12 hours, humans logged deeper. Kef Vero stared at fracturing hollows. Human signals threaded every jam. How? His models burned, Lur 7 chimed soft. They measure, we block, they switch. Drones lifted from Earth, not assaults. Keys, Myra watched the garrison fracture. Node 3 handshake captured, full control loomed. Leverage locked, moon yielded inch by engineered inch. Mara slammed the final connector home. Circuits hummed to life under her fingers. She gripped the activation lever and yanked it down. Gravity stuttered like a bad video frame. Her stomach lurched. Tools floated an inch off the workbench, then crashed back. 2 seconds. Exactly. The phase wedge prototype pulsed once, its coils glowing faint blue, then powered down with a satisfied click. Mara exhaled. She keyed her wrist comm. Raise, it's live. Inertia bend confirmed. 2 seconds at lab scale. Static crackled, then his voice cut through. Data streaming, solid, but pings are spiking from lunar arrays. They've got a fix inbound. Packet. Stealth platform launches in 10. She nodded to the empty lab. No time for cheers. Hands flew across the rig, disassembling coils, folding emitters into armored crates. The phase wedge wasn't elegant. Scrap superconductors from orbital wrecks, capacitors scavenged from dead satellites. Human improv at its core, fix what breaks, bend what resists. Drones whirred in from the corridor. They latched onto the crates, lifting smooth. Mara grabbed her tablet and sprinted after them. Alarms blared soft in the bunker halls. Lunar occupation forces triangulated fast. Too fast, Admiral Reyes watched the drone feed on his command deck. Mara's rig vanished into the stealth platform's bay, hull plates sealed with a hydraulic hiss. "Launch vector confirmed," he barked. "Evasive pattern Delta 7, shadow the debris field." The platform shuddered free from Earth's underside cradle. Ion thrusters whispered it into the black. No plumes, no signatures, just another rock tumbling post-impact. Reyes leaned into the holoscreen. Alien shroud fields cloaked the moon warping sensors, enforcing their blockade. Ultimatum clock, 8 hours. Coalition demanded surrender or glassing, but Mara's hacks had cracked admin access. Nodes falling like dominoes, a lieutenant saluted. "Sir, fringe signatures from the rig matches her sims. Keep it dark." Reyes tapped the fleet patch. "All birds hold fire, engineering window opening." The platform ghosted toward lunar approach. Mara rode inside, strapped to a jump seat. Her tablet synced fresh data bursts, captured alien cadences from the shroud emitters. Predictable harmonics. They jammed broad, humans sliced narrow. She traced the geometry. Shroud fields layered in tetrahedrons, inertia anchors every node. Her wedge could punch a sink hole. Leverage the invader's own physics against them. "Platform stable," the pilot's voice crackled, "aligning for test pulse." Mara slotted the tablet into the rig's interface. "Cadence locked, firing sync in 3, pulse away," the wedge thrummed. Local space warped, not a full bend, just a nudge. Shroud emissions flickered in response. Handshake accepted. Node 4 yielded. Reyes punched the air on deck. "Green across, push it, live." But Lur 7 sensors screamed first. Deep in the lunar garrison core, Lur 7 tendrils danced over the analyzer. Wedge signature bloomed on the grid, non-physical. Inertia metrics inverted for microseconds. Impossible. "Varro," Lur 7 chime pierced the admin chamber. "Emergency flag, human device registered it." Consumes shroud geometry, models fail. Kef Varro spun from his holotank. Lunar command shook under fresh human pings. "Source, stealth vector low orbit," Lur 7 uploaded bursts. "They captured our cadence, synchronized, fields are resonating," Varro hissed. Competent administrator, he'd planned the occupation flawless, seized the moon, humanity's symbol, force terms, but humans didn't assault. They authenticated, breached from inside. "Hold arrays, triangulate and burn it," Lur 7 hesitated. "Recommend abort." "Their engineering predicts ours. Withdrawal protocol." "Denied," Varro keyed overrides. "Reinforce shroud, ultimatum holds." Lur 7 sealed the log, burst to fleet. Humans rewrite rules mid-fight. Myra felt the platform buck. Alien countermeasures lashed out, probe drones swarming the debris shadow. "Pilot evasive," she shouted, thrusters fired hot. The rig strained in its mounts. Her tablet flashed, sync deepening. Shroud node 5 handshake. "Got it," she muttered, leverage locked. She amped the wedge output. Inertia bent sharper, 3 seconds now. Space folded local, yanking a probe off course. It crumpled into debris. Reyes tracked from command. "Platform reports contact. Mara status?" "Sync at 80%, she replied, voice steady. "Their probes can't lock. Cadence too tight." He nodded to his team. "Fleet drones inbound. Keys only, no kinetics. Let engineering lead." Drones from Earth streaked silent, piggybacking Mara's window, not bombs, authenticators. They slipped the shroud fractures, burrowing into lunar grids. Vera watched his hollows fracture further. Human signals threaded every layer. "How do they iterate so fast?" Lur 7 chimed from the console. "They measure response. We adapt broad, they pivot narrow." Improvisation baseline. A new ping hit. Phase wedge signature spiked. Shroud field stuttered, gravity wells inverting across the near side. "Full resonance," Mara yelled into comms. The platform groaned as lunar tug pulled erratic. Her rig glowed steady, 6 seconds bend. Shroud geometry unraveled at the seams. Reyes gripped his console. "All stations exploit, take the core nodes." Fleets surged. Human ships didn't charge. They danced the edges, feeding Mara telemetry. She adjusted on the fly, tweaking capacitors, syncing fresh cadences. Aliens chased ghosts, humans built bridges. Lur 7 triggered the evac alarm. "Varro, fields collapsing. Human wedge hacks inertia anchors. Recommend surrender terms flip." Varro stared. Models burned. Coalition pride cracked. "Open channel, negotiate from strength." But Myra's pulse hit peak. The platform pierced the shroud clean. Lunar surface loomed, garrison domes exposed. She flipped the master override. Raise core access wide open, ultimatums ours, he smiled faint. Dock and claim it, engineers first. Drones hummed victory. Shroud haze parted full. Leverage flipped permanent, yet deep scans pinged, alien backups stirring. Core reinforcements hardened. Clock raced to 4 hours. Mara traced them from the platform bay. Fresh sims spun. Cadence evolved again. Lur 7 sealed his airlock. Data core overheated. Humans don't invade, they integrate. Varro overrode his own protocols. Hold for terms. Mara intercepted the chatter. Micros fed Lur 7 logs back, harmonics captured, models shattered. Humans stayed quiet, aliens panicked. She triggered the next pulse. Fringe node 6 safe-moded, cycle accelerated, raise patched to fleets. Moon's ours, innovation sealed it. Perimeter defenses fired wild, shroud twitched, adaptive no more. Mara captured the final emissions, auth cadence predictable, ultimatum ticked to 0. Humans on the board. Kef Varro faced the incoming human signal, no demands, just a handshake. His console chimed acceptance. Lur 7 watched, tendrils still. They measured us completely. Mara stepped onto lunar regolith, rig humming at her side, gravity felt. Optional now. But backup pings deepened. Hardened cores pulsed alien resolve. Not over, she keyed new sims. Improv renewed. Humans fixed what bent, always. Mara slammed the rig's uplink key. Code surged into the alien core's fringe node. Stolen cadence locked it. Counterfeit maintenance command, perfect mimicry. Her screens flickered green. Node 6 compromised, she muttered. Backup pings throbbed deeper now, hardened cores pulsing like angry hearts. She traced the reinforcements. Alien backups clustered at the lunar equator base, shielded by adaptive shroud fields. Physics-hacked nets that bent light and kinetics into walls no missile pierced. 4 hours until full lockdown. Ultimatum extension bought time, but not mercy. Rig hummed. Sims spun faster. Cadence evolved. Humans learned rhythms aliens etched in stone. She injected calibration drift, subtle warp in their safety routines. 1% skew cascading, intercepts lit up. Kef Varro's voice crackled through hijacked comms. Purge cycle, full spectrum. Flush the anomalies. His orders boomed from the central garrison, competent administrator but blind to the hook. Mara watched the data flood. Purge amplified her drift. Shroud nodes synced wrong, phasing harmonics twisted. Got you, she whispered. Leverage compounded. Alarms wailed in her visor. Fringe node overheated, venting plasma. She patched through Lur 7 embedded logs, curious field scientist, tendrils twitching at impossible human speeds. His notes scrolled, calibration impossible in purge window, drift source, human uplink. Models fail, she forced the desync. Rig overrode node 6's emitters, shroud fields buckled, desynchronizing in a chain reaction. Lunar defense net parted, a corridor yawned wide, 10 minutes of clear vector from Earth orbit to equatorial base. Raise corridor open, her voice cut crisp over the link. Crude mission now, static hissed. Admiral Jonah Reyes replied, steel calm. Shuttles launching, sabotage teams geared, hold that window. She gripped the rig tighter. Regolith crunched under her boots. Gravity felt wrong, alien mods made it optional, low-G drifts for their frames. Humans adapted, always. Shuttle signatures bloomed on her overlay, 3 birds crammed with engineers and demo charges. They burned hard through the corridor, shroud haze flickering at edges. Kef Varro's comms erupted. Mara piped them direct. Shroud breach, how purge was clean. His liaison tone cracked, underestimating improvisation until it carved his models apart. Lur 7 voice layered in, analytical comm fraying. Drift injected pre-purge. Humans predicted the amplification. Their sims outpace ours by factors. Mara smirked. She triggered Pulse 2. Node 5 safe-moded, widening the corridor. Shuttles streaked closer, 2 minutes to base. Rays patched through. Teams report in, breach the backups. We own this rock. First shuttle docked equatorial pad. Explosive bolts sheared alien hatches. Mara fed them real-time schematics stolen from their 7 logs. Engineers poured out rigs like her slung low. She synced her drift to their ops. Backup cores whined, overload climbing. Push the vents, she directed. Force the plasma flush. A team lead acknowledged. On it, dock, charges set. Kef ordered countermeasures. Seal sectors, deploy drones. Too late, corridor held. Shuttles 2 and 3 clamped in. SAB teams swarmed the core vaults, human hands on alien physics rewriting rules. Mara's rig pinged victory chimes. Backup 1 down, harmonics shattered. 2 flickered offline. Lure 7 log auto-fed. They treat our net like faulty wiring. No rage, just fixes. She stepped toward the garrison airlock. Rig slung, shoulder-ready. Improv demanded presence. Ray's voice cut urgent. Mara, reinforcements inbound. Coalition heavies from Mars relay. Window closing in 90 seconds. She overrode the airlock. Seals hissed open. Inside, sterile corridors gleamed, alien script pulsing warnings. Kef Varro faced her at the nexus, tendrils rigid. Liaison robes crisp but eyes wide. Human engineer, surrender the codes, ultimatum holds. Mara leveled her rig. Your purge handed us the keys. Safety routines make poor shields. He glanced at consoles. Shroud to sink spread corridor collapsing, but sabotage teams entrenched. Impossible, our models. Models assume predictability. She uplinked direct from rig to his nexus. Fresh drift flooded, backup 3 buckled. Lure 7 emerged from a side lab, optics locked on her. How? Sim cycles take cycles, you did it in hours. Humans break problems into machines. Mara nodded to her rig. Yours bent physics, ours hack it. Kef signaled guards. Drones hummed forward, stingers primed. Rays barked over open channel. Mara extract, fleets inbound. She dodged first drone swipe. Rig emitted jammer pulse, kinetics warped, drones spiraled into walls. Human ingenuity, EMP tuned to their shroud harmonics. SAB teams reported. Cores vented, base hours. Corridor snapped shut behind the last shuttle. Shroud reformed, erratic. Kef lunged for override. Mara sidestepped, slammed rig probe into his console. Final pulse, garrison net fried. He slumped, tendrils limp. You integrated us. Lure 7 approached slow, scanner out. Measured completely. What now? Mara keyed Earth relay. Handshake accepted. Terms vacate the moon. Consoles chimed compliance. Alien backup silenced. Ray's shuttles hummed extract. She boarded last, rig secure, but deep scans pinged anew. Coalition heavies breached orbit, dozens, shroud-wrapped behemoths. Ultimatum flipped, but war escalated. Mara spun fresh sims en route. Cadence captured, improv evolved. Earth loomed blue. Humans fixed what bent. Always. Rays met her shuttle in low orbit dock. Face-etched discipline, faint smile cracking. Moon secured, engineers first as promised. She handed off the rig. Backups were decoys, heavies carry the real punch, he nodded. Fleets arrayed, your corridor data arms them. Mara pulled intercepts. Lure 7 final log, humans don't conquer, they upgrade. Kef surrender ping followed, liaison requests parley, your engineering intrigues. Coalition signatures massed, shrouds deployed planetary, she traced vectors, new exploit brewed, safety routines galaxy-wide. Sims ready, she said. Hack their fleet net. Rays gripped her shoulder. Bet on it. Drones launched from Earth, human rigs synced, cadence stolen anew, coalition comms lit frantic. Anomalies, purge all, amplification began. Mara watched from command deck. Leverage rewrote the board. Lure 7 shuttle docked under truce flag, tendrils comm, optics probing. Mara faced him across the table. Rays flanked silent. Your drift, Lure 7 said. Predicted our purge exactly. Humans test failures fast. She slid data slate over. Run your models on this, he interfaced, screens whirled. Factors exceed how? Improvise or die, Mara leaned in. Join the fix, Kef entered virtual. Coalition yields, but explain the shroud to sink. She triggered demo sim. Corridor yawned virtual. Your safety amplified our hack, predictable cadence. Silence stretched. Lure 7 tendrils flexed awe. Extraordinary normalcy. Rays cut in. Terms tech share, no more ultimatums. Kef accepted. Handshake sealed, but scopes pinged outer rim. Coalition remnants rallied, shrouds hardening. Mara keyed rig. Next pulse prepped. Humans stayed quiet. Aliens measured anew. Heavies closed Lagrange point, shrouds meshed impenetrable, Mara uplinked from Ray's flagship, counterfeit command, evolved cadence. Fringe nodes compromised, Coalition Admiral barked purge, drift amplified, fleet shroud desinced, corridors cracked open, human fleets surged, engineers led, Kef's relay fed all, again, impossible. Lure 7 patched direct, teach us. Mara smiled, fix together. Surrender waves hit. Moon reclaimed permanent, gravity optional, rules rewritten, but rim pings deepened. Galaxy watched, improv renewed, humans integrated, always. Mara's fingers flew across the holographic console. Phase wedge emitters synced in a cascade, blooming from pinpoint lasers into a distributed field that spanned the lunar crater rim. Earth-based transmitters locked anchors, massive phased arrays pulsing from equatorial bunkers. Rays watched from the flag bridge, arms crossed. Scale complete, Mara said. Field coherence at 98%. Their shroud models won't parse the interference lattice. Rays nodded once. Time to ultimatum. 4 hours. Transmit test pulse. Hit it. She triggered the wedge. Invisible ripples warped local spacetime metrics, seeding divergences in quantum targeting locks. Lunar scopes flickered. Coalition garrisons reported phantom drifts but dismissed them as noise. Mara leaned back. Leverage compounded. Hull vibrations hummed through Lur-7 shuttle as it pierced the garrison's outer perimeter. He clutched the data slate, human test logs burning in his optics. Kef's command dome loomed ahead, shroud emitters thrumming with primed energy. Docking clamps engaged. Lur-7 strode into the central chamber. Kef hovered at his tactical nexus, tendrils interfacing with fleet projections. Coalition heavies massed at the Lagrange rally point, guns calibrated to perfection. Admiral, Lur-7 said, tendrils extended the slate. Human phase data. Their wedge hacks are purge solutions. Drift margins exceed models by factors of 10. Kef's optics narrowed. He snatched the interface. Projections whirled, vectors bent impossibly, safety cadences predicted and amplified. Panic speculation, Kef dismissed. Humans bluff. Our shrouds mesh impenetrable, fire control locks pure, transmit garrison-wide, ignore anomalies, prepare deterrent strike on their flagship. Lur-7 tendrils stiffened. But the tests, speculation disrupts cohesion. Stand down. Lur-7 withdrew, optics dimmed. He patched a covert relay to Mara's channel. Data shared, they blind themselves. Mara's console pinged the alien whisper. She smiled faintly. Rays paced behind her. Field anchored, she confirmed. Garrison targeting now diverges. Their solutions fork, each battery computes a different intercept. Rays gripped the rail. Activate full lattice. She slammed the activator. The distributed field ignited, a web of phase wedges anchored firm to Earth's transmitters. Lunar vacuum warped subtly, coalition scopes glitched. Garrison fire control nets screamed overload. One battery targeted phantom echoes left. Another chased ghosts right. Vectors splintered across the dome. Alarms wailed in Kef's nexus. What divergence? Compensate. Technicians interfaced frantically. Solutions unstable, Admiral. Locks cycle independently. Impossible. Our guns track perfect. Fire deterrent. Scour their lead elements. Kef's command pulsed fleet-wide. A salvo erupted from the garrison's spinal lances. Relativistic slugs, shroud stabilized, aimed dead on Ray's flagship. Projectiles screamed across the void, perfect trajectories. Then they missed. Slugs veered by margins of kilometers, phase wedges twisting their lock-on metrics into fractal chaos. One barrage curved wide, plowing harmless slugs into lunar regolith. Another looped back, shearing a coalition frigate's flank. Detonations bloomed silent. Kef stared at the holotank, tendrils quivered. Miss by, impossible margins, recompute. Lur-7 burst back into the chamber. I warned, their field rewrites perfect. Distributed anchors, Earth transmitters phase-lock the drift. Kef whirled. Sensors pinged. Human counterfleets surged from the cracked shrouds, engineers' drones seeding micro-wedges ahead. Ray's flagship knifed through the chaos untouched. Mara tracked the intercepts from her console. Their salvo inverted, 12% friendly hits. Rays grunted approval. Boarding teams prepped. Affirm, Lur-7 relay feeds real-time divergences. We thread the garrison now. She refined the lattice, scaling wedges tighter. Coalition batteries fired wild, slugs glanced off phase barriers or chased decoys. Human shuttles pierced the domes, mag clamps sealing breaches. Kef evacuated to his shuttle as boarders flooded the nexus. Lur-7 stood firm, tendrils raised in truce. A human squad halted, Mara's voice crackled over comms. Stand down, he's ours. Marines parted. Lur-7 interface direct. Teach the fix, your normalcy breaks us. Mara's avatar flickered in. Field demo first, anchor your own transmitters. Ray's voice cut through. Garrison secured, ultimatum voided. Kef's shuttle fled rimward, scopes catching the rally fleet's panic. Heavies scattered, shrouds disincing under propagated wedges. Human signals broadcast open, join or drift. Lur-7 watched boarders rig coalition emitters into the lattice. How fast? Models fail. Test failures daily, Mara replied. Yours predict, ours adapt. Reyes strode the captured dome, Mara at his side. Lunar gravity tugged optional now, phase fields tunable. Garrison crews surrendered in waves, optics wide at human techs welding alien rigs seamless, but rim scopes deepened. Coalition remnants hardened new lines, galaxy feeds buzzing, Mara keyed fresh scalers. Next lattice prepped improv scales. Lur 7 tendrils flexed awe. Extraordinary. Reyes clapped Mara's shoulder. Rules rewritten again. Coalition admirals' bark echoed intercepted. Purge amplified. Mara smiled. Earth transmitters hummed. Drift awaited. Mara sealed the final emitter weld. Lunar dust swirled in the low-G breach. Her suit lamps caught Lur 7 shuttle cresting the crater horizon, truce flag pulsing steady. Rey's dropship idled nearby, Marines coiled. Field stable, she reported over comms. Garrison divergences hold at 87%. Rey's voice crackled. Link him in. We scale collaborative. Lur 7 docked seamless. His tendrils probed the wedge array, optics whirring. Anchors to your world net, predictable power. Test it, Mara said. She tossed a portable slate. Run your purge sim through our lattice, he interfaced. Hollows bloomed, slug vectors forked wild, misses compounding. Tendrils flexed sharp. Factors cascade, how engineer so swift? Break it daily. Mara tapped the console. Failures teach faster than models. Kef's relay pinged urgent from the rim rally. Lur 7 patched it live. The Admiral's form shimmered virtual, tendrils rigid. Liaison, report garrison integrity. Compromised, Lur 7 said flat. Human wedges rewrite targeting, deterrent failed. Kef's optics flared. Dismissed earlier as speculation, proof. Lur 7 slid the slate. Run it. Kef interfaced, projections shattered, his own salvo sims missed by voids. Impossible, guns perfect. Until rewritten. Mara leaned into the hollow. Join the lattice or drift permanent. Rays cut in from orbit. Terms, tech mesh, no remnant rallies. Kef hesitated. Rim heavies closed, but scopes glitched. Human fringe nodes already seeding drift. He extended tendril. Yield, explain anchors. Handshake sealed virtual. Lur 7 shuttle thrummed lift. Mara watched it merge with the lattice web. Earth transmitters pulsed approval. But outer scopes pinged heavier. Galaxy coalitions stirred, measuring human normalcy anew. Mara rigged the next wedge. Engineers led, always. She activated the counterpulse. Coalition probes veered into the void, locks lost. Lur 7 voice patched awe. Again, teach. Fixed together, Mara said. Rim lines cracked. Moon held. Rules optional. Mara's console flared red. Rim fleet salvos inbound. Shroud-hardened guns synced galactic standard. Perfect. She keyed the lattice. Phase wedges distributed wide. Earth anchors firm. Targeting forks ignited across the garrison remnants. Activate, she ordered. Divergences bloomed. Alien batteries chased ghosts. Kef's flagship shuddered as his own slugs looped back, margins impossible. He fired anyway, misses confirmed. Humans surged, ingenuity rewrote. Galaxy watched close. Mara's console screamed red. Rim fleet salvos streaked inbound, shroud-hardened hulls shrugging off lunar dust. She slammed the lattice key. Phase wedges ignited across Earth's anchor grid. Divergences bloomed like invisible thorns. Alien batteries chased phantoms. Kef's flagship bucked as its own slugs arced back, hulls crumpling under impossible ricochets. Mara watched the feeds. Human surges punched through gaps. No rage, just vectors rewritten. Admiral Reyes to all channels. Rey's voice cut through her headset, steady as orbit. Coalition forces, withdraw to Lagrangian Point 5. Exchange for shared verification protocols. Prove your physics holds. Mara tuned the hollow feed. Rey's face filled the screen from Earth's command deck, eyes locked on the alien broadcast array. Kef's liaison shuttle hovered in frame, tendrils twitching. Kef's voice grated over open comms, translated sharp. Human commander, your lattice hacks our scopes. Proof of control or parlor trick? Reyes didn't flinch. Verification first. Mesh your sensors to ours. Watch us toggle the field. Mara's fingers danced. She isolated a test wedge over the moon's primary garrison dome. Demonstrating now. Lattice nodes hummed. Physics bent, light warped, slugs hung mid-void, alien scopes glitched to static. Kef's image flickered, his optics narrowed. Revert, fleet advances blind. Restoring. Mara keyed shutdown. Field collapsed clean. Normalcy snapped back. Coalition guns reacquired targets. Slugs flew true again. Silence stretched. Lur 7 voice patched in from the field lab, curiosity edging awe. Calibration supremacy. Humans anchor divergences without cascade. How? Mara leaned into her mic. Practice. Your models assume stable baselines. Ours improvise anchors. Ray's nodded once. Protocols shared. Withdraw or we seed drift across your rim heavies. Kef's tendrils coiled. His fleet loomed, guns hot, but scopes flickered anew, human fringe nodes blooming silent. Probes veered into black, locks dissolved. Ceasefire, Kef transmitted, voice tight. Sign now, prevent total blind. Handshakes locked virtual. Coalition drives flared retrograde. Moon garrisons powered down batteries. Mara exhaled. Lattice held steady. Lur 7 shuttle docked at the human outpost rim. Airlock cycled. The alien scientist emerged, optics wide, slate clutched. Mara met her at the hatch, toolkit slung over shoulder. Joint lab, Lur 7 clicked, tendrils extending data links. Permanent, teach anchors. Coalition admits your calibrations rewrite rules. Mara slotted the link. Data flowed, alien sims meshed with human wedges. Peer review, fixed together. Ray's voice patched from orbit. Good work, Klein, shields hold, galaxies watching. Mara scanned the feeds. Outer scopes pinged heavier shadows. Coalition reinforcements massed at Saul's edge, probes tasting the lattice fringe. She rigged the next node array. Engineers led. Lur 7 interfaced beside her, optics tracing code. Your shutdown, perfect toggle. Our fields cascade 3.2% loss. Humans 0. Redundancy layers, Mara said, soldering a quantum stabilizer. Sparks danced blue. Earth's junkyards taught us patch failures before they chain. The alien paused. Junkyards waste as forge? Mara grinned faint. Leverage, you seized the moon for symbols. We turned vacuum into anchors. Alarms chirped soft. Kef's ceasefire shuttle approached, escort drones peeling off. He boarded the lab, frame rigid. Verification complete, lattice stable, explain full mesh. Mara pulled the hollow. Earth's grid pulsed green, thousands of improvised nodes lashed from lunar miners and orbital scrap. Shared now, your fleet's safe inside. Step wrong, drift seeds. Kef interfaced, projections rebuilt. His sims aligned, human baselines sharper, divergences tunable. Impossible speed, months for our labs, you days. Crises sharpen, Mara said. Moonfall forced it, Lur 7 chimed in. Request escalated. Coalition Council, human calibration lead, joint oversight mandatory. Kef's optics dimmed. Accepted, no remnant rallies. Tech mesh full. Rays cut through. Confirmed, Earth transmitters pulse approval, withdrawal vectors clear. Mara watched Kef's shuttle lift. Lattice web gleamed, but deep scans spiked, galactic coalitions stirred, heavies vectoring in. Probes tested fringes, veered blind. She activated counterpulse. Coalition scouts scattered, locks fried. Lur 7 voice lit her console. Again, teach sequence. Fixed together, Mara replied, rim lines cracked, moon secured, hours blurred. Mara welded the joint lab's core frame, Lur 7 calibrating alien sensors beside her. Rays coordinated from orbit, vectors locked. Kef returned, data slates heavy. Rim heavies inbound, full coalition, demand surrender or glass. Rays broadcast wide. No. Peer review all channels, mesh your physics to ours, verify. Coalition Admiral's voice boomed, harmonics deep. Primitives yield moon, Earth next. Mara keyed demo 2. Lattice wedge bloomed over the approaching heavies, scopes blanked, slugs looped harmless. Toggle off, she announced, normalcy restored, heavies reacquired but doubt rippled their formations. Lur 7 transmitted urgent. Council logs, human ingenuity confirmed, ceasefire extends, admit supremacy. Kef overrode. Sign, fleet blinds permanent otherwise. Signatures flowed, heavies braked hard, probes recalled, Mara leaned back, lattice purred, engineers won without a shot past the demo, but scopes pinged true now, galactic core fleets shifted, eyes on Saul. Mara cued the next wedge prototype. Improvisation scaled. Lur 7 slotted beside her. Next layer, teach. Always, Mara said, handshake firm, galaxy blinked, rays patched private. Klein, core coalition's hail want lattice specs. She smiled. Peer review terms, moon transmitters pulsed, human normalcy rewrote the stars. Deeper void stirred, coalition envoys vectored in slates empty. Mara prepped the hollow, proof waited, in the lab Lur 7 traced a node. Humans don't conquer, you enable, Mara nodded. Better rules, alarms hushed, lattice held, galaxy measured anew. Ray's voice closed the loop. Stand by, next broadcast full mesh. Mara activated, physics bent willing. Kef's flagship shuddered into dock. He stormed the joint lab, tendrils lashing. Deception, Rim Heavy's report lattice creep, drifts permanent. Mara pulled feeds. Human node seated subtle, alien scopes clear but edges frayed. Verification glitch, mesh deeper. Lur7 interfaced fast. Human anchors compensate, your shrouds amplify feedback. Kef froze, fix or ceasefire voids, raise broadcast live. Protocols hold. Demonstrate joint toggle. Myra and Lur7 synced. Lattice hummed dual, divergence bloomed then snapped clean. Coalition scopes cleared perfect, Kef's optics flared. Supremacy yours, Council yields oversight. Signatures sealed, fleets stood down, Myra watched the hollow. Galactic webs shifted, alliances cracking toward Earth tech. She rigged the peer node, engineers led, rules optional, Lur7 clicked soft. Teach core fleets, peer review, Mara said. They blink first. Void filled with hails, humanity answered calm. Deep space probes returned data bursts, Mara parsed them. Coalition core worlds lit with lattice copies, flawed, cascading. Lur7 shuttle thrummed urgent. Failure rate 17%, request anchors. Mara slotted specs. Calibrate local, improvise, Kef joined feed. Earth monopoly ends, share full. Rays cut in. Terms, joint labs, galaxy-wide, verification mutual. Coalition admiral assented. Peer status granted. Moon held firm, human wedges spread. Mara's console steadied green, galaxy integrated. But outer rims pinged unknown signatures. New players watched, she cued the universal mesh. Ingenuity called, engineers answered, always.